Oh, what's good, YouTube, man? It's Gary with another Fan TV back at you another video at the content. This video, go smash that like button at the content of this channel. Go ahead and subscribe, man. Look, so the Ravens have given us something to talk about on a Tuesday in the off season while we wait for the draft to come. So the Ravens have signed veteran quarterback Chidobe Awuzie. Last played for the Tennessee Titans. A lot of Ravens fans might remember him as a member of the Cincinnati Bengals, where he kind of had the best moments of his career. I believe he was also a member of the Dallas Cowboys. I think he was drafted by the Cowboys. Okay, so just a quick rundown on Awuzie. 6 foot, 202 pounds. So a bigger corner. Okay. Also, he's been in the league about 8 years now. He's 29 years old, but really we're going to say 30 just because he turns 30 years old in May. So by the time the season starts, he's going to be 30. So he's going to play this NFL season at age 30. Okay. He's been in the league now going on 8. This upcoming season will be his 9th season in the NFL. So that's kind of his rundown, his background. Now, let's talk about the signing. Okay. We'll do why it makes sense, why there's reasons for concern, and what it could signal for future things as well. Okay, so now why it makes sense for the Ravens. The Ravens needed to add somebody to this cornerback room. Okay, it's very obvious looking at the roster that is either going to be a draft pick, a veteran, or maybe a combination of both that were going to be added to this room. Right, the Ravens do what the Ravens always do. They take low risk. They take a low risk signing that has a potential huge upside, a huge benefit, okay? Because if Awuzie hits, right, he has really, really good potential to be a guy that's more than a solid cornerback number 3. When he was playing for the Bengals years ago, he was their cornerback 1 and was a really, really solid corner for them, okay? So the thing that has, taken them out has been injuries, right? And we'll talk about that. But it's talking about why it makes sense for the Ravens, okay? So the Ravens need to add the cornerback room. They need to add it. They need to add, I think, 2 things, which was a veteran and a rookie, right? So, you can't add a rookie right now. Obviously, they ain't the draft, so the draft is coming up. But now we're adding a veteran right now. That leaves the board wide open for what they want to do in the first round of the draft, right? There isn't a like, oh, we must get a corner right here, right? You can open it up, best player available, because now realistically, cornerback is somewhat taken care of, right? Tennessee owes him, I believe, like $7.5 million, something like that. So the Ravens are going to pay Awuzie the minimum. So it's not going to really cost the Ravens anything on the contract. So this is a solid overall pickup, and it makes sense because the Ravens needed to get more bodies into the cornerback room. All right, you lost Brandon Stevens, TJ Tampa, who, as Ravens fans, we can be excited about the athleticism, maybe the potential of what he can be, but right now he's a can be. We don't really know what he is, right? So it makes sense not to put all that pressure on TJ Tampa. Like, you have to perform. You go out there, you get a veteran, right? This also doesn't mean that 100% Awuzie's on the team, obviously. It's still going to be training camp, competition, things like that. But it puts the Ravens in a solid spot to where they can do what they want on draft night and not have to worry about, wow, is our cornerback room going to be too young? Honestly, this is a move that the Ravens, typically you see the Ravens do this maybe even after the draft. In the summertime, that's when you see them pick up guys that are older veterans, on that third kind of contract, and they end up getting a play out of them, right? But they did it a little earlier this time, which the order to me doesn't really matter whether it's before the draft or after the draft. It's fine either way, right? This was a move that was going to happen. Ravens were going to pick up a veteran stopgap cornerback. This was going to happen, right? So when I look at it that way, I'm fine with it, right? Now, let's talk about the downside of what the Ravens did. All right, Awuzie, while a talented corner, while a guy that fits the Ravens profile, physical, tall, bigger corner, can beat up on receivers at certain points in time, he has a very, very severe injury history. Okay. Like I said, he has played 8 years in the NFL. He's played a full season in the NFL 1 time. All right. The last time he played the full season was in 2019. I believe that's with the Bengals. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I believe that was with the Cowboys. Sorry, when he played his last full season. Somebody can check me on that. But I just got right here since 2019 when he played this full season. This is what he's played. So 2020, 8 games. 2021, 14 games. 2022, 8 games. 2023, 15 games. 2024, 8 games. Right now, if you want to be somebody who notices a pattern, so maybe that 2025, we'll get more games out of him since he seems to go down and up, down and up. But at the end of the day, that is a real, real concern for the Ravens. Okay, so this is not a guy that's okay. The Ravens signed him, we locked away, we got the cornerback position solved. No, he's another body in the room, and if he happens to win out, beat the competition, and prove that he deserves a spot to play, great, right? So what sign Owuzie does to me, for me, excuse me, is that a guy like Trey White is not going to come back to the Ravens. A guy like Stephon Gilmore, one of those older corners, I don't believe the Ravens are going to be in the market after, just by signing Owuzie, right? So those kind of moves to me are off the table, right? Now, the guy that I have been, if you've watched any of these videos, right? I've been talking about a lot for the Ravens that my number one kind of target, trade, free agency, how you want to picture it, frame it, is that it's Jair Alexander, right? To me, does signing Owuzie eliminate you from potentially going after Jair Alexander if he's cut or if he's available for trade from the Packers, right? Um, to me, I would say no, right? Because like I said, Owuzie is not a locked on starter, a locked on, or he's a third best quarterback on the roster. No, TJ Tampa could leap him. Hell, if they draft a rookie in the second or third round, and the rookie has a really good camp, he could get put out there. You don't know, right? So this move for the Ravens right now is a veteran depth piece that they needed, right? Not even kind of, they needed this kind of guy on the team. All right. The cornerback room did not have a lot in it. All right. We love Wiggins. We love Marlowe. After that, you kind of shaky, right? They've already cut Arthur Millette. TJ Tampa, like I said, we're hoping on him. But if we look at what the Ravens have right now, it's a lot of, I hope this guy can be good. Not a lot of, I know this guy is good, right? So for the Ravens, this move made a lot of sense to me, and this was a move that was going to happen. Like I said, whether it was now in March or it even could have happened, later in the summertime. Let me look up the Ravens depth chart for a quick second, just to see who else is on the. Who else we got listed down here? Okay, so yeah, man. I mean, I'm on our lads right now, who has all the good, kind of data for the roster at the moment. Nate Wiggins, Marlon Humphrey, Jalen Armour Davis, TJ Tampa. Right. So just as suspected, right? As I wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anybody. Yeah, the Ravens are truly very, very thin at corner. All right. So this move makes a lot of sense for the Ravens. And when it comes draft time, they could still draft a corner. Me personally, I don't want to see them draft a corner round one. They have a great hit rate with drafting corners in round one. So it's not about that. Just about that, the Ravens will draft best player available, right? But the best player available is going to probably be in the positions that are of a bigger need, whether that's trenches on either side of the ball or, more of an edge rusher, right? So, they can go O-line, they can go D tackle, they could go, like I said, edge rusher. Those are kind of positions that I'm looking for. Maybe even, if a guy like Malachi Starks drops, they won't take a safety. That's not, to me, that's not the highest priority, but I will understand it if they did it, right? So cornerback is kind of really further down the list, right? So for me, for the Ravens, they could take the cornerback in that third, fourth round kind of area, get a guy in here. That maybe not, he might not do a lot his first season here, but you could get him in development. Hopefully he'll give you something, in year two, year three. But I don't really want them to draft cornerback round one. That's just my opinion on it. People may feel different about it. So for me, this Awuzie signing makes a lot of sense, and I think it gives the Ravens maximum flexibility going into the draft, right? So he doesn't solve all their problems at cornerback, but it is a nice addition to a spot where they needed more bodies at. So that's my thoughts on it, man. Obviously, give me your thoughts in the comments. Reply to our comments, man. But it's Gabriel to the Fan TV. I'm out.